So I saw Happily Never After today on Hulu, because that shit's free, and you know I can't resist free. It wasn't that great. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't that great. I mean, we have, like, way too many, like, retellings of classic fairy tales. It's like, you know, I know you're trying to be different and unique and whatever, but it's just shit. I don't care. Like, oh, Cinderella, she's a brunette with short hair. Oh my gosh. Oh, she's gonna marry the scullery boy who has longer hair than she does. Oh my gosh. It's stupid and purposeless. They're just doing it for the sake of trying to be different in these, like, you know, modern retellings of fairy tales. And there's, like, a million of them. Like, they have that Rapunzel movie that, came out recently. I think it's called Tangled or something. I don't know. It's not my taste. It's kind of stupid overall. Like, I really like retellings of fairy tales. It's just most of the time, they suck. It's just, like, because, like, they're trying to, like, have it for kids, and they're trying to, like, play on an old theme. But the thing is that it doesn't work. It just gets annoying. Like, for this particular movie, they had, like, a bunch of different, like, voice actors, right? Except none of them fit, like, their parts, except for maybe Sigourney Weaver. But that's just because I love Sigourney Weaver, and she's always a bamf in everything she does. Like, Alien, bamf. Aliens, bamf. Aliens Back in the Hood, or Aliens Return of the Jedi. I don't know how many there are, and I don't know their names, but she's a bamf in all of them, and that's what's important. Anyway, they also had Sarah Michelle Gellar as the main chick. And like, the thing is, okay, don't take this the wrong way. I like Sarah Michelle Gellar. Not, like, a lot. Her voice kind of annoys me. And she kind of annoys me, but I really like Buffy. And by I like Buffy, I mean, I really love Angel by Joss Whedon. Yeah. It's like, I have to like her, or else I would, like, gouge my eyes out after 7 seasons, you know? It's like, I don't want to like her, but it's that or die. Anyway. So, like, overall, they're just doing mindless. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is so different from before. Ah, the happy ending isn't coming true, or whatever. And it's like, okay. Okay, this isn't funny. This isn't a movie. This isn't creative. I mean, because they had, like, this recurring theme where they had, like, the original fairy tale told a different way. Different ways. Oh my gosh. And the thing is, like, the only, like, actually creative different way thing that they had was for, Rumpelstiltskin, who, like, what if he gets the baby? And he actually got the baby and became, like, this adorable caregiver. And it's like, aw. That was the only creative twist they had. The whole thing about the retelling for this one is that it's like, oh, female empowerment. Except it really isn't about female empowerment at all. Like, the main character keeps going on and on and on about having her prince to save her. By the way, Prince, voiced by Kronk. Kronk is always a voice of princes. And I think that's perfectly acceptable, because I love Kronk. But the whole female empowerment thing just doesn't work at all for this movie, because it's so fake, and, like, the girl doesn't mean it at all. She says all these things, and she does things, but it's just really pathetic and weak. It's like, oh, let me run away. Oh, I need to be saved. Oh, I'm shooting a gun now. I guess I'm okay with that, because I'm a girl. Oh, let me wear pink and flowers. I hate girly things. It's disgusting. Anyway, so, like, the whole thing is just, like, completely anti-feminist, I would say. It's trying to be feminist. It's trying to, like, here, hey, feminist, you see this bone? You want it? You want me to throw a bone to you? And it fails so hard. It's just, like, this is so completely sexist, really. Because, like, the villain is a girl. Fine, I'm okay with that. But it's, like, it doesn't break any of the tropes of female villains at all. It's like, she's evil for the sake of being evil. There's no reason to it. Just like the good guys are good for being good. No reason to it. Like, this is, like, a recurring theme with fairy tales, is that they don't give any moral complexity to the characters. Like, the bad guys are bad because they're bad. Obviously, the good guys are good because they're good. Oh my gosh. It's the same thing with, like, most comic books. It's like there's no moral complexity. Like, the thing is, like, they're all kind of assholes. They don't mean to be, but they are. And the thing is, if they were just, like, genuine assholes, then I'd have absolutely no problem with it. But they're just morally simple characters. And, like, that's just, I know it's a children's movie, but I'd rather have some more depth going on to it than that. Because, like, they're trying to have multiple levels. It isn't as simplistic as, like, the original Cinderella, which was just, like, lighthearted singing and dancing. And I'm okay with not having more complexity there, because it doesn't need it. But in this particular circumstance, they're trying to make it more stimulating for children, and they're failing, because they don't have moral complexity. And I just think that's a flaw of most, like, you know, fairy tales and fairy tale retellings. And because, like, the thing is, like, we always talk about how, like, the good guy always wins. But, you know, that wasn't the case in the originals. It isn't that fairy tales have it that the good guy always wins. It's that we have it like that. We can't handle the good guy losing. Like, in the original Grimm's fairy tales, not very happy. Little Mermaid gets eaten. Or was it boiled in the sea? I don't remember. But those are your options. Eaten, boiled in the sea. Not that happy. Sleeping Beauty, raped. It's not a happy time, and we just have this, like, domestication of fairy tales, and we have all these inherited things from Cinderella and Snow White, and we don't realize that Snow White was raped when she was dead because her prince is a necrophiliac. But the thing is like, so in the end, like, you know, Sarah Michelle Gellar or Cinderella or whatever you want to call her, she has to, like, save herself without a prince. What? But she doesn't really save herself. She's still a pussy, even at the end. She's just, like, tiptoeing around, oh, someone save me, someone save me. No one saves her. Someone save me. No one saves her. So she has to save herself. But it isn't really saving herself. She just, like, barely pushes the villain. And, you know, villains always have off-screen deaths, because children can't handle that. I mean, you have to know that the villain dies, but you can't see it. It's another stupid thing. It's like, go all the way. Don't pussy out halfway through. I don't know, it was just stupid. It's like, this isn't anything new for feminism. It's just showing that women need men in the end. And the whole thing is like, you know, the whole value of princes is like the end of their story is they got married. The only value of a woman is until she gets married and pops out some babies. That's the entire thing. Well, guess what? Your happily ever after isn't going to last when your hips are all wide and gross and your boobs are sagging and you can't pay the bills because you have 5 children because you don't know how to use a fucking condom. Oh, anger! Can't take it. It's just so annoying. It's like, don't pretend to be a feminist movie if you aren't. It's like, don't throw me bones that are really knives at my eyes. It was just overall frustrating. I mean, there were moments where it was funny, but all the funny moments were kind of stupid. And, like, I don't know, maybe children like it, but it didn't have any complexity like Pixar films have. There was no, like, oh, will she make it? I don't know. Because you know she's going to make it. Like in Pixar films, you're like, I don't know. I really don't know. I hope they survive, but they've been dying for too long. I'm kind of concerned and worried now. But this is just kind of like, yeah, how are you going to do it? The end result is never a question. The question is always how you're going to do it, and I don't like things like that. It's like Batman. You know he's going to escape, but the only thing you ever wonder before the next episode is how he's going to escape. And I think that's a flaw in the writing of most fairy tale remakes and comic book remakes, is that there's no question of if the main characters are going to die. You already know the answer to that. I mean, whatever happened to killing the narrator? There's never, like, a question. You know what's going to happen because they're the main character. This is a flawed plot line, flawed characterization. Just everyone in the movie was shallow and not in a good, amusing way. Just like in a way, like, it would be a much better movie if they had at least 2 dimensions instead of 1. See you, Space Cowboy.